Welcome back, Melissa from A Life Refurbished. Today I'm refinishing this beautiful server. It's solid, heavy, from Drexel. Behind the drawers we have a shelf and the top folds open. I think it's a pretty cool piece. I'm thinking about modernizing it just a little bit. Perhaps adding some pole wrap. Haven't made up my mind. This is gonna be a cool transformation, so don't go anywhere and stick around for today's makeover. Lower. I can't believe how heavy it is.
Would you believe me if I told you this unique server has been sitting in the garage for 5 years waiting for me to transform it? I know, I find it hard to believe too. With so many other projects, this one was put in the back burner. Until now. One of the features that makes this cabinet so unique and easy to find a potential buyer is this flip top that extends for serving. It was also made by Drexel, which is known for using quality wood. For people that love hosting, this is like a dream piece. With such a great amount of storage space, not only do I picture this piece as a server, but I can also see it on an entryway with a mirror on top. For this furniture makeover, I'm going for a simple hardware with a classic look, so I'm not going to be keeping these plates here. A couple of nails are holding the plate here, so I'm gonna try to loosen those up.
This one's super dusty, so we're definitely scrubbing it really good.
One of the things that I made sure before buying these guys specifically was that the Formica top was in good shape, meaning there were no chips or scratches on it. You can tell that the cabinet wasn't used for hosting very much, if at all. But I'm hoping that after today's makeover in its new life, it's gonna be a little different. When I saw the cabinet at the second-hand store, I knew if I could update it for today's home, someone would snatch it right away. Another cool feature is that the back is just as beautiful as the front, and I'm also gonna be painting it. No matter what angle you're looking at it from, it's going to be beautiful and functional, which gives it so much appeal. Oh, and did I mention that it's on casters? That means that you can place it anywhere you need in your home.
This is part of the series where we raise money to pay for Luna's surgery after she ate a piece of a towel that ended up blocking where her small and large intestine connect. $6,000 later, she's alive and kicking, and so is the debt in my credit card. So we're raising money to pay this unplanned expense. I paid around $40 for this piece, and I'm hoping to make a profit of $500 or upper $400. Let's get busy before the interest rate keeps junking up my payment.
For the new and updated look, I'm gonna be staining this top with a neutral color while painting the body. I've been wrestling in my mind because I really want to add a modern element to the design. That's one way that you can ask more money for pieces like this one. Then I remember that I had some pole wrap left over from a different project. And remember, I'm trying to use materials that I already have to keep my costs down. So we're gonna be adding some pole wrap. Besides sanding the top to bare wood with 120 grit, I'm also sanding these wood pieces that serve as support for the top so they match. I just need to loosen the screws here so I can have access to the whole piece. The only thing that I had to spend money on for this makeover was the hardware, but I think it's gonna make such a huge difference in the overall look. That's completely worth it. The cabinet has a few frame pieces with curves in them. Since I don't want to alter their shape, I'm using a bendable abrasive in my Surf Prep sander. But you don't need to have a fancy sander like mine. That's a little more pricey. In the screen, I'm going to be sharing with you some bendable abrasives that you can use that have different profiles in them. You can find them on Amazon. And I don't know if you guys have noticed that YouTube has a shopping option too. I try to tag whatever they have available there just to make it easy for you guys to find. Just so you guys know, once I was done cleaning the piece here, I took measurements of the areas where I'm going to be adding the pole wrap, but somehow I forgot to record that part. After taking the measurements, I started cutting the pole wrap, but I'm just gonna highly recommend that you dry fit the pieces before you add the glue, because many times, and today was not an exception for me, I cut either too short or not enough. But thankfully, by doing that dry fitting, you'll know ahead of time and make adjustments accordingly. But once I knew they all fit, I poured some carpenter's glue. Freaked out because the small cap slash applicator for the glue was not working, so I had to take it off, and every time I pour the glue it would come out in a larger amount that I needed to. But anyway, this is why it's a good idea to keep one of these tools on hand when you pour a little too much, and just to help you spread the glue. Oh, thank goodness. Perfect. I'm putting some weight on top of the pole wrap to make sure that there's enough pressure for it to stick to the glue. Before ending my day, I'm gonna go ahead and use this wood filler to fill in the holes that were left by the nails that were holding the plates in place. Since the next morning I noticed the gap between the pole wrap and the frames was larger than I would have liked, I applied caulk to make it disappear. Then I sanded the wood filler. Since it sanded so nicely that I want to attempt and stain it, I'm going to be covering the top because I'm planning to paint the rest of it. The color is not going to be anything crazy. The reason being is because I want to sell this. Remember, I have a hospital pet bill. I'm trying to sell these as fast as I can. Since classic colors such as black, off-white, or barewood mid-century modern dressers sell very, very well here in my area, I'm gonna be sticking to that until Luna's surgery is all paid off. By the way, one of you sent me super thanks, $50. Luna and I thank you very, very much. We are gonna be definitely adding it to our profit amount and deducting it from the outstanding balance that we owe. Yes, we need to stay away from trouble. Anytime I'm gonna be applying a dark color, I prefer using clear wax-free shellac primer. That way, if the paint chips, which hopefully is not going to be until several years down the road from now, it will be more discreet than if I were to use a white one. I applied 2 coats, waiting half hour in between. Less scuff sand or prime surface. I'm going to be using 120 grit here. And then I'm going to be using my favorite black color that is from the Milk Paint line.
from General Finishes. It soft levels beautifully and it has the perfect amount of sheen. It's not completely flat, it's not glossy either, not even satin. Without any further ado, let's keep going.
Primer, no matter which one you use, after being scuff sanded, will kick out dust. I'm wiping it off so I can paint over a clean surface. After stirring out the paint, I'm pouring it through the filter to fill in my Flexio 3500 sprayer, and then I'm gonna be adding about 10% water to thin it out just a bit to have a consistent paint output. I'm going to be applying 3 coats, waiting 1 hour in between each one. The reason why this paint is my absolute favorite is because it self-levels buttery smooth without having to sand in between coats. Honestly, I don't know that I can say that about any other paint brand. And no, I am not being sponsored. The cost is a little higher, but you're getting a quality finish that's durable. And that's very, very important for me and my customers. Next, I'm using a water-based gel stain from Lily Moon Paint to bring down the yellow tones in the wood. The color is called Wooden Barrel, and I know that you see 2 different colors here because I wasn't sure if I was going to need to layer them to attain the color I had in mind, but as it turns out, 2 coats of Wooden Barrel were enough, and I waited 1 hour in between coats. Because water-based gel stains dry so fast, I like misting the surface prior to applying them to buy myself some time. And for application, I like using a foam brush. Since we let the stain and paint dry overnight, today we're getting ready to protect the new finish. For full protection, I'm applying a total of 3 coats, waiting 1 hour in between. And yes, I'm using my Flexio 3500 sprayer from Wagner again to apply the top coat. The accessories are going to take the cabinet to the next level consist of these brass color knobs, and because the finish in the hinges was looking a little dull, I applied some gold wax to match the knobs. There's just one more thing I want to do to end today's makeover, and that is to add some luster to the Formica top by applying some clear wax. I'm using Shacto Interiors brand here and a shop lint-free paper towel. Are you guys ready to see the final look? Here it is. I think I accomplished my mission. It looks elegant and updated. But let me know what you think of today's makeover in the comments. And as usual, I will see you all next time.